Hello again. Let me just run through my system. So this is the HLT hot liquor tank. It's got water obviously in it with a 2.5 kilowatt heating element at the bottom, temperature probe at the bottom, you can just about see it there, and the heat exchange coil. 50 litre total capacity. The mash tun, it's got a filter at the bottom with the temperature probe, and it's got a recirculation lid, which I'll describe in a moment. At the moment we've got about 24 litres in. I'm doing a 19 litre batch, so I'll lose a litre in the circuit and another few litres in the mash itself. And then we've got the boil kettle. All three vessels are 50 litre capacity. And there we go, it's empty at the moment. Temperature probe, 2.5 kilowatt, heating element, bazooka filter, and also it's got recirculation as well. So back to the mash tun. Sorry, HLT and mash tun. The liquid, the wort, comes out of the bottom of the mash tun into the pump, then goes up through the internal heat exchanger out the top, and that's what we saw. Leave these lids off. That's what we saw there. So at the moment we're heating up. I want to mash in at about 40, so I'm taking the HLT up to 45. There's usually about a 5-degree difference in the two when they get up to temperature. It's lagging at the minute because I just filled it with cold water, but it will catch up and it'll sort of track about 5 degrees behind. So that's those pair, and then when we've mashed, we mash out, go to the boil kettle, which I said before has its own circulation lid. So again, comes out the bottom of the tank into the cooling heat exchanger. That's to cool, and I can put a garden hose on that, and I can cool that concentric system. It goes through the heat exchanger, then into the pump, and then from the pump back up, and has a similar circulation system to the other. Now, this pump is not capable of running on the boil. In fact, most pumps, while they can suffer the temperature, when you start to boil, they start to cavitate. I typically circulate up to about 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and then turn it off. You can hear it cavitating, so you know when to turn them off. But what it does do is it means it's well mixed, so the temperature profile is representative of the body of water, which is always a problem. Obviously then, when you've boiled, you finished your boil, you want to cool, to take it out to the fermenter. I let it drop down to about 85 just naturally, and then I turn the pump back on and I force cool it through the concentric heat exchanger before I then take it out to the fermenter. On the odd occasion I've taken it out to the fermenter hot, which has the benefit of sterilising the fermenter. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I cool before I transfer, sometimes I transfer hot. Really depends. It depends on time, to be honest with you. So that's my system. I'm just starting to brew now, and I think what I'll do is I'll post it in a separate video, because it can be very boring, long videos, can't they?